So I decided to try out Dr. Mario World on iOS. So I've always kind of liked Mario. I kind of grew up learning different Mario games, and I've actually only played Dr. Mario once before in my life. And I understand it's kind of like a Tetris version type of game, and you're trying to kill these, I guess they're viruses, that's what it's referring to them in this game. And it's kind of like Tetris. And if you've never played Tetris before, I encourage you to. I think it's a very good thinking game, but it also has you kind of on your feet where you're a little stressed out. So, the way this game works, you use your pills in order to match up colors. And so, right now, I'm matching up this red pill with these red viruses. And when you get 3 in a row of the same color, that's how you eliminate a virus. So, it seems pretty simple, but I assume in later levels it'll get more challenging. And I kind of like games like this that require you to think. So, from what these instructions are telling me, you can always keep moving your pills up, but once you move them up, you can't move them back down any amount. You also have a set number of pills, and it tells you that in the top right corner of your screen. Unfortunately, based on how I recorded this, it won't show how many you have to start in my videos, but it'll always be in your top right hand corner. So the idea of the game is to try and finish each level with as many pills left over as possible. The more pills you have left over, the more bonus points you can acquire. So right now in this match, I was trying to time out these pills to hit at the same time to see if getting 5 in a row, for instance, would eliminate everything at once. And unfortunately, I wasn't able to time it, so I wasn't able to test it out. But that level was still fairly easy, which isn't surprising. With most of these games, the company wants to engage the player and make them feel good about themselves, and you don't do that by losing on the first few stages of a match. So now you can see they're gradually making it, well, kind of a little more difficult by adding in another color of virus. So I'm assuming we'll also get pills that, aren't just all red or all blue, but will be a mixture of the two. And that'll make you, well, think more, in my opinion, because you'll have to think about, if I use this pill here, where will the other color go, or how can I manipulate it so it still goes up and I can potentially take out another virus at the same time. I've always liked games like this a little more that require a bit more strategy than brute force, for instance. I kind of like having to think about something and devise a strategy in order to beat it. And this right now just combines a couple things that I really enjoy. One being, well, Mario, or in this case, Dr. Mario, and the other thing being a strategic thinking game. I find it to be pretty enjoyable overall. I kind of like seeing the viruses not exactly explode, but go away. It's pretty satisfying. And as you see here, based on the number of pills that I have left over, I end up getting bonus points for it. So obviously, the more pills left over, the more bonus points you get. And you're always trying to obtain those 3 stars. Basically, 3 stars will maximize the number of coins that you get, which I don't know what you can use coins for as of yet, but it's the in-game currency, so it must be valuable in some way, shape, or form. And you see right here, I used this pill in order to kind of balance things out. So as soon as I eliminated the yellow, it would go to the blue and match up as well. And the same case for the red. So that made for a very quick level and an easy level. So here, I'm just going to quickly actually replay that stage. I'm trying to figure out if you replay stages, if you can actually get more coins for completing them. And from what I found, you don't get more points, more coins, even if you complete it with a higher score or the same score. My guess is that it's star-based. So if you get 1 star the first time, 2 stars the next time, and then 3 stars the last time, I think you'll end up getting more coins. Well, it'll all equal out probably to the same amount of coins. Otherwise, players would just get 1 coin on the first time and then do it a second time and a third time in order to increase their stars and gain more coins overall. So to me, it makes the most sense that the maximum number of coins that you can get is a limit of 150 coins. but that kind of only works if you have unlimited number of lives, which is what I have at the beginning. And again, this makes sense because as a company, you want your players to be engaged, especially at the beginning, so that they can get used to the game, because some people might not understand right away and may take several attempts to, well, get it correct the first time. So by doing this, I guess it just really helps with player engagement overall. So far, I think the company did a really good job with this game. I like the graphics of it, and of course, I like Dr. Mario. I feel like this is very nostalgic for a lot of people who used to play Dr. Mario, or anyone who has played Super Smash Bros. Melee, for instance, on GameCube, because Dr. Mario was a character there, and I'm not sure if he was still a character in later versions of Super Smash Bros. Brawl, but he's a very old character that a lot of people know and love. And for those people who don't really know him, this is a nice introduction game to kind of see and understand who Dr. Mario is. And potentially it could get Nintendo more customers for other Dr. Mario or Mario games in general. To be perfectly honest, I'm not sure if this is a completely free to play game or not. I saw that there are 20 stages loaded, so I'm going to try and complete all 20 stages, and then I guess I'll see if it's all free or not. My initial guess is that, like, all the stages may be free, but then the extra things are not. And by extra things, I mean, like, right now I have unlimited number of lives, but I feel like as I continue to play, I'll have a maximum of 3 to 5 lives. And if I run out of lives, I might have to spend a buck or two if I wanted to in order to get my lives back right away. Or for these different boosts that you can get and use in matches, I feel like you can probably purchase coins, and those coins can be used to get bonuses and stuff. And to be honest, if they had a method of customizing your characters, because like if I could change Dr. Mario into, I don't know, having a red lab coat instead, I know it kind of defeats the purpose of Dr. Mario, but I know that a lot of new games, have that option for customization in order to increase player engagement. And so people are just more interested in what's going on. And sometimes in this game so far, like, I've just made a lot of mistakes where I'm not moving the pills after into the right position, and it's costing me moves and time and a little bit of frustration for not getting it right. At this stage in the game, it actually gives me the option of choosing a different doctor. So I'm going to link my account really quickly so I don't lose my progress. But I've always been a fan of Bowser, so I think this is a pretty cool option actually, being able to use someone like Bowser or Princess Peach as the new doctor. And I think that kind of goes with the idea that I just had about being able to customize characters, while by introducing other favorite Nintendo characters, Super Mario characters in particular, it just lets the audience really choose their path. Like, it's really interesting in some ways because Bowser's always been like the conventional bad guy, but in this case these viruses are taking over the world as a whole, and you know what, they have to work together. And this kind of just proves it, that they need to put aside their differences in order to somewhat save the world. And I can appreciate that because a lot of games have been giving you the option now of playing as, quote, the villain. But in this case, the nostalgic villain that we all know and love is now a good guy and playing Doctor. I feel like as I move on in this game, there's probably going to be other doctors that I can play as, like maybe Luigi or Waluigi or Wario, maybe Toad, Koopa Kid. Like, these are just some characters that I think would be a lot of fun to play with. And as you see, like, Bowser has a different ability than Peach does and different than Dr. Mario. It would be interesting to see if these abilities can be leveled up per se, because there are so many games where it gives you the option to level up a character and they'll do something new, a different ability, or they'll do it better. They'll be able to clear, like Bowser clears 2 lines. Well, maybe with him being upgraded, if that's possible, he could clear 3 or 4 lines. But because this game only has a set number of lines available, maybe it's just the speed up where in harder levels, you'll be able to fill up their meter faster and use their special abilities. So I would end up recommending this game to like my friends and even my family members because a lot of my family members played Mario growing up, so this would be a real throwback for many of them. And I know if I enjoy it, they'll enjoy it as well. It isn't a very complex game, but it is a pretty fun one, and it's simple. And I kind of like that some games are simple, which means anyone can really get involved and interested in it. I feel like some complicated games that come out are too difficult for a player to really become engaged. I'd love to hear some of the other games that you folks have been playing or games that you enjoy. Like, I'm a big Pokemon fan too. I don't know if I've ever shared that really, but I love playing Pokemon. I still have my yellow version. I don't have blue anymore, but I have gold and crystal. I have my sapphire and ruby. I have always been about Pokemon, and I have been a Pokemon trainer for Halloween for a number of years, and I just find it really enjoyable to be able to share some of my interests with all of you and my likes and dislikes, really. Like, I think I might end up doing a bit with Pokemon on my channel eventually. I'm not sure when, and I'm not sure what, but I would love to start over in my Pokemon Yellow game, for instance, and just kind of go through the game and share my experience with all of you and kind of my thinking style for it. And if anyone is interested, I always will go with Squirtle at the start. I love Squirtle. I actually have Squirtle slippers at home, and they are my favorite. Squirtle has just always been a very steadfast Pokemon for me, and I love his evolutions, or her evolutions. Just Squirtle's evolutions are great. Squirtle into Wartortle into Blastoise. And I saw a pretty funny meme the other day where someone took their pet turtle and attached a hose to this like separated cardboard blaster pack, so it actually looked like Blastoise and like their turtle was doing hydro pump. And I just found it to be the funniest thing and most enjoyable thing. It just really made me smile and think about that if I had a pet turtle, I probably would have done the same thing. Anyway, I'm now on to the final stage of this area, and now I get to see if all of this is actually free to play or not, and it'll be apparent right after this to see if any more levels load or if I need to purchase more levels. Like, I know when Nintendo came out with Mario Run, the first few levels were free, but then after that, you had to pay a little bit in order to unlock the rest. And I understand, it's a business. You need to make money, and if a company isn't making money, then they're not going to be creating new games for us. So I can't really fault them for wanting to make money off a product that gives me and other people enjoyment. So far with this game, I really enjoy kind of the mindlessness of it, but also having to think at the same time, if that makes sense, where it's still a fun game to play, and I do have to be strategic with how I play, but at the same time, I'm not feeling pressured. So this stage is practically over. I will have successfully completed it as long as I use Bowser's special ability, which clears 2 lines, and because there's only 1 virus left, it cleared that virus. So I got 500 bonus coins, and I finished all 20 stages with 3 stars each, and it does unlock the next set of stages. So if anyone's looking for a kind of mindless but fun game to play, try out Dr. Mario World.